Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony show. Michael in the vicinity. Anthony, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great today, dude. Lovely day here. Excited to have you back in studio, dude.
Pumped up. So much to talk about. Of course, as everyone could imagine, a great weekend in Green Bay. We are, a slap of reality today. But we
love that, dude.
Are back. If anything, we improvise, we get through it, Tony, and it's on to the next one, right?
That's right. Exactly. On to the next.
So yeah, we'll definitely get into that, but we do have some comments already if we want to start there.
Oh, dude, I think we do want to start
there, Derek.
there.
Hi, Derek.
Derek Ho does say hi there, Brian. And then, of course, the usual suspects here. We have Kev Do early and often. We want the smoke. You played yourself, dude. You played yourself, dude.
I did it.
Rep the company, TV, rep the sports port. Play a hater. Get on the floor. You've been robbed, in Biggie's voice. You've been warned, dude. I can't really do a good Biggie. I don't know about you.
No, but actually, it was so funny. Wait, did you see the movie that was on, like, they came out like
about Biggie?
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think of. Do you know what it's
Notorious?
Called?
No.
Yes, and like the part where he's cheating on his wife, and like he's literally like naked in the room with the girl, and then he literally goes like in his voice, "I swear to God, I wasn't fucking her." Yeah. It's like, would that even matter?
Yeah,
That was honestly one of the funniest things that I've ever seen.
You would like that, dude.
It was just funny.
It was just funny, dude. But then of course too, we also have Lonnie in the building. He says, "Good morning, Downtime TV fam. Double B is back. Let's get to greatness, gentlemen." So I asked Jay how his trip was going. I guess his shades allow him to read but not reply. Oh,
wow, little shot there.
And then he says, Scott Browning a baller.
Jake Browning, Tony. We'll talk about that in a second. The overtime win in Jacksonville. What a performance.
To TV. And then Jay Bird comes in, says, "My trip went well, Lonnie. Thanks for asking. May have missed your comment in the fog of the whiskey, beers, and butts. I apologize for the delay. Shout out Downtime TV. Shout out the company. Hashtag Flonnie says."
Hey, good to hear from Jay. But while we're going call outs, I actually did text in a group that Josh had texted. I don't know, it was from when we went golfing or whatever. But I was asking him, what was the deal like over the weekend after we had talked from the Ranger game. I actually didn't hear back. So, must have been the whiskey and the beers in the butts, Tony.
Wow, dude. And then Kev 2 says, "Jay, what's good? Hope you had a blast. Has a Mexican flan." And Josh B in there with the let's go. Quick, gotta go. Busy day at work today, says I'll be listening though. That's it. So you got to? So Josh B?
Josh B, let's go. Always good to hear from Josh B.
Obviously not.
Josh B's the man. We know that.
You liked it, so how did you miss it, sir?
Wow.
Oh, Lonnie, dude, he's going to track you down. He's going to bring you back here, bro. Teach you something about a thing or two.
Lonnie, I feel like right now is yearning for accountability,
Yeah.
But I have to say, too, a great job by you and Riley yesterday holding down the fort.
They had a great show.
And I had to say, too, I give you credit for hanging in there talking about Zach Wilson and the Jets for like 40 minutes. I mean, I don't know how you got through that, honestly.
Dude, I mean, honestly, it was a lot of fun. We really broke down like what's wrong with the Jets a little bit, dude. I think we had a great Jets talk. Great Jets talk.
Great,
Michael.
Great Jets talk. But I literally I guess everybody's just in the same boat, but it's just it's like I can't even almost care about it. Like, it's like, just hopefully they lose the rest of their games. But it's just, all of us Jets fans have been tormented for so long, where it's just like, you know what? I'm not even gonna let it bother me. And I have to say, Tony, and I know this sounds very, very negative, but I just think even with Rodgers back next year, something's going to go wrong. They're not going to make the playoffs. I guarantee it. Honestly, I guarantee it. If you had to put a sizable wager up, would you say that it ends up working out next year to like at least make the playoffs, or do you think that just judging by history, there's going to be more misery down the line?
I
know a lot yet to happen.
I mean, I know it's tough, dude, but I mean, as of right now, Mike, I don't have a lot of expectations that are high, I think, for next season. Again, I mean, Ryan and I talked about it. I mean, like, even with Rodgers coming back, I mean, you're still at 41 years old, coming off a major Achilles injury.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and then on top of it, dude, like, I mean, I don't know, dude. If he gets hurt, obviously it's in shambles. This is what we saw this year. So to me, I don't know. I think there's a good shot of him getting hurt. Again.
But then also, like, the coaching. I really think quite possibly Saleh and Hackett are the worst combination of head coach and offensive coordinator in the entire league. Give me Antonio Pierce. Give me the guy whose name I don't even know was the special teams coach. That's the intern for the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Give me him. Honestly, I literally feel like they are complete clowns.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And again, like we were talking about yesterday, I mean, when Rodgers comes back, it's not going to be like, oh, Saleh and Hackett are coaching. It's going to be like Aaron Rodgers calling the shots. Like that's going to be it, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And and I just I really don't have any expectations. And it's we talk about this all the time too, but I think that the reason why also it doesn't bother me that much either is just I really do, and I know everybody does, but I really do enjoy just watching the league as a whole. Like obviously Red Zone's great. I love the standalone games as well. Like I was really into the game last night. So, and then fantasy football, obviously the bets. So there's so many other things, Tony, where, you know what? When there's something to get excited about, I'll be excited, but I'm not, not like putting a countdown to that.
Were you excited for Lambeau Field, dude?
Well, that's what we're gonna get into.
Come on, dude.
But I had to say,
people want to hear about it.
Matt was texting
2 hour drive.
By the way, too, Delta, terrible. Honestly, and I know.
Oh.
Yeah. Hold on. Well, first of all, I was gonna say too, and we'll do full synopsis. But Matt was just texting me yesterday, just asking, how it was and stuff, and I was saying, all of us like absolutely have to go one time. The environment is just unbelievable, and I feel like, for somebody like me, like obviously we all know, like just so integrated with sports, it's just a sports haven, Tony. The passion, the excitement, the enthusiasm, you can't beat that. But I'll start, with the flight. So we did fly to LaGuardia. It had been a few years. I want to say 3 years since I had been to LaGuardia. And last time I was there, I was like, wow, I can't believe, it had been such a poor quality airport for all these years, the many renovations that they did, like, wow, this is really first class. But for whatever reason, the Delta lounge has still not been renovated. So a lot of stuff was under construction, reminded me of the old LaGuardia. So we started out like that. And then, I had, I always, for when I'm flying, I sign up for like the free, Sky Miles if we're talking Delta, True Blue if we're talking JetBlue. So over the years, I've just like occasionally, like if, that's the only flight you can get, you got to go Delta or whatever. I don't usually fly Delta, but I had racked up, since I was probably a teenager, just all these times, just having random flights. So I had a decent amount of points. So I upgraded to what's called Comfort Plus. So the whole thing there, you could get wine and beer, as well as there's more legroom. But being that they call it a connection flight, a Delta connection. So, from LaGuardia to Milwaukee, because there is an airport in Green Bay, but they don't have any routes to New York, which to me really doesn't make any sense. So, you have to go to Milwaukee, but because it's a flight that's around 2 hours, it's not across country, so tight, Tony, like literally almost like to the point where you can barely go down the aisle. The cart, literally the beverage cart, Tony, I'm not kidding. You couldn't fit a pencil between the open space between the end of the cart to the chair rest. Like, it was literally everything's packed in so tight, and I'm in Delta Comfort.
Sardines.
And so this is an upgraded seat, and it's still tight. Like, the leg room's fine, but the width of the seat's very small. And fortunately, the lady that was sitting next to me moved to another seat, so then I got the whole seat. And I've never seen this on a flight. Now I understand, like, a lot of airlines have done away with the seat back entertainment, but they always have, okay, you can sign in, you can go to, Delta Studio is what they call it. They have all the movies, shows you watch. Don't have it. Not available. So, and then if you want internet, you could pay $6 for 30 minutes, or you can have it for the whole flight for $17. So I'm just like,
what?
I could do it, but it just seemed, just for the principle of it, I don't want to do it. So I didn't end up doing it. But, it's nice to have those type of things. And to me, especially if you're sitting in Delta Comfort, it's an upgraded seat. That stuff should be free. Every other airline has that. So really, really tight Delta, with the budget wise. Luckily, a quicker flight, but that's why I've always said JetBlue is the best. And I think, right below JetBlue, are American Airlines and Alaska Airlines, but there's not really too many opportunities to fly Alaska Airlines. But that's why really JetBlue, far and away, the best airline out there. And luckily, when I go to Cabo next month, we're going JetBlue. So the TVs, and I love too, it's not just TVs, Tony. It's the fact that they always have cable too, because a lot of times it's, movies and shows. Me, obviously, I'd rather just watch regular TV, the sports shows, of course.
Right.
So yeah, a little qualm there with Delta, but we'll get to Milwaukee. Rent a car, had this big SUV. I think it was an Armada. Does that make sense? A Nissan Armada, Tony? Are you familiar with that?
I
feel like you're a big car guy.
Armada. Yeah, it's like a big truck, isn't it?
Yeah, big SUV. Just me and my dad, 2-hour drive. So
why'd you get, and you drove the truck, dude?
Yes, because ABC did the reservations.
Oh,
and,
so
they just needed us to drive because there wasn't enough to put everybody in one car.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, drove to Milwaukee, no traffic, very flat terrain. So, and I feel like you're like this too, like, because I know you and Michael, especially the road trip. So it is kind of nice when you have a ride like that, just the scenery stuff that you don't usually see, what it looks like, the amount of open space. So it was enjoyable. So me and my dad had a good ride. And then I did post it on my Instagram story. Al's Hamburgers, Tony, been there since 1935.
Stop it.
Right in downtown Green Bay. And
oh my gosh.
And I got to start, it was like the caramel milkshake, which is unbelievable. And it's like one of those where they give you so much where you have the cup, but then there's the malt cup.
Yeah.
I know you obviously go nuts for that. So there's like half of the malt cup was full.
Right.
So it was like a huge milkshake. Then I got like a bacon cheeseburger with the onion ring on it, and then cheese curds. And I don't know, have you ever had cheese curds or no? You like them?
Oh yeah.
So these were like really good quality cheese curds. And just like a really cool vintage place. It reminded me of something that would be on like diners, drive-ins, and dives. That type of place. Haven't changed. Everything is original from 1930s.
Yeah, even the fucking grease on the grill, baby.
And we sat at the counter too. Like the old school counter, the circle seats. I know that's all stuff that you enjoy. I'm sure. So you would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then we were staying at a Hampton Inn. Hadn't stayed at a Hampton Inn in a while, but historically, we would always kind of on our road trips say they're always clean. So it was a good spot to stay. We relaxed for a little bit. And this is Saturday, so you had the college games go on. I know you're not always cued in with that, but it actually was a pretty good day of college football. I watched the majority of the Alabama-Georgia game, which was really good, and Bama pulling that one out tight. So after that, there was this place called Stadium View, which is actually directly across the street from Lambeau Field. And this is a place, again, you would be so riled. 2 levels, okay?
Yeah.
And it's Saturday, it's 5 o'clock. And you know how, sports restaurant here, Saturday, 5 o'clock, there'll be people. But I'm telling you, there must have been 600 people there. It's like absolutely massive. Dude. Then you have the top floor where you could see Lambeau Field from. So we had a table there rented out, just your usual type of sports bar type of food, but very, very good.
Right.
Just a good atmosphere. I was just surprised how many people were there. And then we did a tour of Lambeau right after that. So we walked across the street. did a tour, was down in the tunnels. And if it wasn't the day before the game in the winter, we would have been able to go on the field. But because they were heating the field, making sure it's not iced over for the game, you had the tarp on. So we went in the stands.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
We went all in different suites. And it was a very good tour. I want to say like an hour and a half, hour 45. Really, really enjoyed that. And the people working there, because I remember when I did a tour originally, like 8 years ago, they're just so passionate about the Packers. So, they're really into their job. Sometimes people doing a job like that, they don't really care. They're just trying to make a paycheck. Like they're into it. They're explaining the whole scenario. So that was a really good time. And then they have this thing they just created again, which I think you would be really riled about, called Titletown.
Yeah.
So they knocked down an old Kmart that was across the street. Okay. They put in a lodge, which is a restaurant bar, and then like an inn as well.
Right.
But first class. And also, we're always talking the prices, literally everything like very discount. This is a 5-star lodge. You could stay there for like $250 or something.
Whoa.
At home, it would be, $800. And this is right across from the stadium.
Yeah.
And then this is what I think you, Michael, Renee, I feel like you guys would get around for this. Maybe Matthew too. They had I didn't do it, but they had a sledding hill right next, like huge hill too. Huge.
Yeah.
Like literally went up to the top of the lodge, which, is probably 5-6 stories.
Yeah. That's sick.
So there was a huge line for that. We could have done that. But the lodge, they had the restaurant at the top of the building, fire pits all outside, balcony. So cool. And the guy from ABC who got us our drinks, he was saying, I can't believe this. We got like 8 drinks, and the bill with the tip was like $80.
Really?
Like if people are getting mixed drinks and stuff, at home it would be 180.
Dude, easily. Yeah.
So again,
oh my God,
you would be fired up.
Yeah.
So we, explored around there a little bit. Then we went back to the original place we were at, the restaurant, the Stadium View. Again, still jacked up with people. Stayed there for a little bit. And then after that, I think we probably headed back, I don't know, around 11, long day, the travel, everything. But then went back to the hotel, and then that was the end of Saturday. Sunday, we went to the Hall of Fame around 1:20, but before that, we went out to breakfast, and I think I sent the picture of the breakfast with the French toast, the flambeing. Once it said flambe, Tony, I swear, I was like, I don't care what else on the menu, I'm getting this. I'm telling Tony. That was unbelievable. They had candied pecans. I forgot. You're good with that? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, candied pecans, bacon, a chocolate sauce, and then maple syrup with bananas too.
Oh my
god. So you obviously, you're out there, the bourbon bananas. That was so good. We actually went to that place twice. Yesterday I got like the stuffed French toast. And then it was interesting. I've never seen this. So there was a casino nearby called the Oneida Casino, and it's right across from the Green Bay Airport, smaller airport, but it's attached to the Radisson, which is actually the Packers team hotel. So they stay there before the game every night, and the people we were playing blackjack with literally said they saw Collinsworth and Tirico at breakfast that morning.
Oh, no, dude.
And Collinsworth's coach is using cheese, and he goes, "Oh, you should be good tonight. You should be good."
Yeah.
So it's just kind of funny to hear that. But a little different with the blackjack. I had never seen this. Two things that I noticed. First of all, the dealer, the first card for the dealer face down. It's always first card face up, second card face down. So that, and then also the side bets, no match to dealer. And it was called Royal Match. So if your up cards had the same suit, you get paid out 2.5 to 1. And then if you have Jack, Queen, King, Ace, like 2 of those suited, then it's 25 to 1. But no match to dealer.
Interesting.
And so those were interesting side bets. And the whole casino only had like 6 tables, so like mostly slots. And it's funny because we're just used to what Mohegan is and stuff, but I guess there's other places they don't have bigger ones. But it was just cool that the Packers stay there, the hotel, so it's a good place to stay too. There's a lot of people there before the game, sports book and stuff. Then we went to the Packer Hall of Fame, and you would have got around for this too. They had one of those things where like the NFL Combine, they have the vertical test.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That. And I remember I was with, and obviously, one of the guys, he's a lot older than me, but a couple of people around my age, I had the highest vertical, which is funny because I can't jump at all.
Stop it! Oh my gosh,
so it's including,
dude.
the height from the ground up, not like my jump, but I think it was like 9'6" or something. And
Wow,
no one else
dude.
like was within 3-4 inches. So I was around was able to do that.
Yeah.
Had 2 goes at it too, just to see. And I'm sure you could picture this too. I smacked, those things that are like going out.
Oh,
I
yeah.
smacked as hard as I could, and my like thumb was like swollen.
Oh my God, dude. Is this the same golf thumb you have an issue with?
No, different one.
So both hands are injured now.
Yeah, basically. But I'll be fine. So the Packer Hall of Fame was cool. They had all the Super Bowl trophies and all different stuff from the championship teams and all that. And even had Vince Lombardi's desk, one room where you could
Oh my
sit,
God, dude.
the old dial-up phone
That's
and
awesome.
stuff. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
really cool. So they did a good job with that.
That's great, dude.
So then we saw that, and then we went right to the tailgate. And they went all out for the tailgate, full tent, enclosed with heaters and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And everybody inside, the games on the TV,
Love it.
and all different types of food, like stuffed mushrooms, steak sliders,
Oh, wow.
quiches, pizza. I think there was like clam dip too. And then like from this bakery, they had like a cinnamon bun, like one of those huge cinnamon buns that you could cut, cookies, and then all different types of like beer, bar, and stuff. So we were there for a couple hours before the game. Then we went into the suite, and I sent you guys a picture of that. But that was unbelievable. It was literally, I think, 3 times the size of the one that I had just been to at MetLife. Like, I don't know if it's like one of the bigger ones that they have, but there was probably 20, 30 of us in there.
Holy cow.
The heaters on the ceiling. So we were outside the whole entire game. Wasn't cold at all.
That's
which is
so
funny
ridiculous.
because everybody else, like you're looking right below us. Oh, they must be freezing.
Yeah, you asshole.
And again, really good spread there. And they had, I feel like you like this, the sour cream dip with the potato chips.
Dude, love that.
Pretzels, just to get started. And then they had filet at kickoff, which is great. The roasted potatoes, Tony. So all good stuff. And then full fridge, like commercial size fridge of just beer you could just go up and get. And then they had a bartender who was making drinks as well.
Oh my God, are you fucking kidding me?
The
dude?
dessert cart came around, which was really good. You could get whatever you want. And I feel like you'd get Ralph for this. So I got the cheesecake, the peanut butter pie. And then a shot of Bailey's in a chocolate shot glass.
Oh my God.
So that was like really cool. That they did that. So just a really, really good time. Great to see the Packers pull it out. And it's funny, going into it, I did have a feeling, they have been, kind of trending in the right direction. And the Chiefs just not really doing the same there. And we've talked about Mahomes not getting help. But right away, you could just tell they were confident. They drove right down the field and scored. Hopefully Christian Watson's okay. He got hurt later in that game, but here we are. Packers are 6-6, currently in the last wild card spot in the NFC, and they have a Monday Night Football game at MetLife against the Giants. So good opportunity to move to 7-6. But yeah, it was just an unbelievable trip. And like I was saying, I just love the fact that the history there in Green Bay, the passion. I mean, it's just all about football. So it was just really cool to see. And it was a really entertaining game. I mean, really,
very entertaining
down to the Hail Mary. And I heard, you and Riley talking about how, there really should have been a flag, Kelsey going on the ground and all that yesterday. But it's funny from the box. I couldn't, I didn't see it that much, but then I saw it, on the replay, of course. But really was a very, entertaining game.
Yeah. No, to say the least, dude.
And I think we have to go group trip to Lambeau next couple of years.
Dude, I would fucking love that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of the whole trip?
I mean, definitely the game.
Definitely the game?
Yeah.
Favorite food of the game?
Favorite food, I would say it was a dead heat between the cheesecake and the filet. Like it was the filet, I mean, you never can have too much filet.
I know.
And just what a good job they've done there. That's the original stadium.
Yeah.
The bleachers have been there since the 50s. And the fact that they integrated the new with the old. So there's so much original stuff there, but the concourse is state of the art, brand new. And what I like too, because you can never do this at any like the arenas in New York. So for a 8:30 game to get into the concourse where, you have the team store, the Hall of Fame, a restaurant, That's before you actually go into the stadium.
Right.
You could go in at 120 for 2 hours, and then but you have to use your ticket. They only let people go into the game go in there, but then you could sign out and go back later. So it's not like
that's cool.
if you go in at 1, you're stuck there till the whole rest of the game to let you go out, which is such an easy concept. And I feel like it's literally laziness at MetLife and stuff. They just don't want to take the time to have a spot where they have to pay more people to sign people out in and out with the tickets. So yeah, I really, really liked that they did that.
That's awesome.
And I think let's just say we will be back, Tony, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
So yeah, that was
what a breakdown.
That was amazing, honestly. And I can't believe, I mean, what would you say? That was probably a 20-minute breakdown?
Yeah, I would say 20 minutes.
It's unbelievable. It didn't seem like it would take 20 minutes.
I mean, dude. It's a lengthy weekend, dude.
It is a
very lengthy weekend.
It is a lengthy weekend. Yeah. So we're still catching up over here, but we'll get back in the swing of things. For sure. And then we were talking about too, bowling. We're going bowling. What's the deal?
This week, I mean, you just mentioned it when you walked in today. So
what's your next 2 days? What's your schedule?
Tomorrow is going to be class and gaming corner. Thursday, let's see, dude. Thursday we got Dream is Free, I believe, on the Dirty Thurs. We could do like a Thursday night.
I'm down.
Because Friday and then Saturday I'm working games, and then Sunday we have sports board.
Yeah.
So Thursday night, Thursday is what we're shooting for.
I'm in, so I'm gonna call you out if you don't go.
Okay, sounds good, dude. You want to do nutmeg, or you want to do what did we do last time?
We did Norg, but either one. I mean, I don't know what's better, for everybody, but.
Yeah, dude. We'll I'll talk to Mike and Renee and get that in, dude.
No, and I feel like we need to get let's definitely get a lot of footage. I really want to do this, like at least one game that we get a lot of footage of us with the spread just to see.
All right, let's fucking do it, dude.
Because what are you like after a warm-up game? Because we'll do the warm-up game, but what are you expecting after one game? What are you expecting to shoot the next game?
223.
223.
Let's say.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like we got to do like kind of around 100.
Yeah.
Because maybe if I have a really good game, I could shoot 140, but I don't, it had to be a game of my life to do that. I mean, just thinking about it off the surface, like, what do you think you're comfortable with?
For a handicap?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the last time we bowled, you shot like a 160.
You really think?
I think.
We could see how the opening game goes. I mean, maybe I'll just swindle it and shoot 70.
Oh yeah. Honestly, you probably fucking would. But we could do that. We can see how the opening game goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But,
I like that, dude.
All right.
I would think 85 pins.
85 pins. Okay. Maybe $10 game. $10 for the 85.
Oh, well, yeah, dude. $10 for 85.
Yeah,
10 for 85.
Yeah. Well, but pending the warm up game.
Yeah, of course, dude.
But I think that would be like a lot of fun. I love like scenarios like that. Can I cover?
Yeah.
No shot at the outright.
Right.
Can I cover? That's for sure.
Absolutely love it.
I feel like since I was going over everything, a lot of comments are now.
Oh yeah, dude. We had a nice little breakdown. You weren't the only one who had a fun weekend, dude.
Yes.
So we had
Tony.
Yes,
Jay in Nashville.
So
we had on and all,
dude. So we had a great little comment section here. Obviously, if we go way back here, Lonnie's looking for a full explanation
from Jay. He owes him one.
From Jay.
Do you think he owes him that?
I think he does, dude. I think he does. Jay Bird says Nashville was amazing. So many nice people willing to strike up a conversation with you. Lots of New York, New Jersey people there this weekend for the Ranger game, he said. Food was amazing. Country biscuits and gravy. Lives up to the name as the Music City, he says. Country bands were all over the place. Surprised that the bagels and pizza were just all right compared to home, he says. And then Lonnie says, that's dope, dude. No, the Southern food was hitting. And of course, Matthew Gabriel checks in. He says, yes, the boys are back. Hey, Bonds.
Hey,
welcome back,
Bonds.
buddy. Let's see. I know there was definitely some Kev doing there. Oh, yeah. Lonnie also says Delta is the Yankee charging
that's true.
For internet.
That's true.
The drive from MKE to Green Bay is only 2 hours. Dreadful.
No traffic, though, Lonnie. So it wasn't too bad.
We have Danny in the building saying, oh, baby, Brian is back.
Burn it.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go. Rep the company, rep the TV. Kev Go Kick rocks,
The
dude.
banter, Tony.
Of
the banter.
course, dude. Kev Do, speaking of which, says, sign me up for that trip. It'll be epic to
Let's get
Lambeau.
a herd of 30.
Herd of
Company,
30, dude.
DTV.
Herd of 30, dude.
Let's go.
And then Lonnie asking, what's that thing in the diner you can eat at? The flat top, the counter. Dave and Canty.
I think it's a throwback.
Yeah, definitely.
Dave, Rick, and Canty.
Yeah. And then Kev Do also claps back the Burning Kick rocks and stub your pinky toe, he says. And then, of course, one thing that I wanted to, Jay Birch's Hackett's a bum.
Yeah.
That's it, dude.
Hard to argue with that.
Yeah,
that's
it is
for
hard.
sure. But and I know, Tony, I'm barking up the wrong tree here, but no, it's nothing crazy. I was just saying, you heard about like the whole controversy with college, with the playoff and Florida State and stuff.
Yeah,
or
with
no?
Saban and yeah.
Did you guys talk about that a little bit?
No,
Yesterday?
not even.
I'm surprised Riley didn't go, but he probably just knows that you don't want to talk about that. So he knows better than me right now. Is basically.
I mean, not that I don't want to talk about it. It's just I just don't know about it that much.
I think you could. I could summarize this very quickly for you. So going into, the championship games, it was all conference champions. So, the top two teams in the conference, they play a game, and then typically who wins that, if you're in a Power 5, you qualify for the 14 playoff. Next year it's going to go to 12. The big upset, Georgia's been number one all year. I think they had won 29 games in a row. Alabama squeaks out a 3-point win. I think in the standings they were 5 going into the game. They win. They had one loss to Texas, who also ended up making the playoff. But the whole thing is Florida State had been in the top 4 all year long, undefeated. But not this past game, but the game before that, they lost their quarterback for the season, and he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Jordan Travis. So they had a backup in. They've struggled to score. Defense have played well. They go beat Louisville. They 13-6 on Saturday night. And Louisville have been averaging 33 points a game. So a lot of compliments. They have great defense and stuff. They don't make the playoff. Alabama gets in. They were the first Power 5 team to go undefeated and be left out of the college football playoff. And the whole reason, and it's in the guidelines for selection, is because if a big player gets hurt, they can use it as criteria to disallow them from the playoffs. But it's there's this whole thing too, whether it's college football as a whole, ESPN, that everybody's obsessed with Alabama. Any opportunity to get them into the playoffs, they're going to. I think last year was the first year that they missed the playoffs. But you have to feel for those kids at Florida State. They have an undefeated season. They rally around a quarterback injury, and they take care of business, and then they get left out because the country is obsessed with Alabama.
I mean, but what I understand you said that the fact that they lost the quarterback is criteria, but what, who decides that?
So there's a college football playoff committee, but again, interests, and it's so funny. They showed a picture of all the guys watching the games. I swear to God, the average age is probably 72 years old. It's just insane. No youth in that room whatsoever. But to me, that reeks of a predetermined thing that they said, Alabama wins, they only have one loss. They beat a number 1 team. We're going to put them in. It doesn't matter if it's an expense of a team that took care of business all year long and didn't have a loss.
And this is a sport you want me to get into, to dedicate my time.
Tony, the reason I brought this up wasn't about that.
I'm
just saying.
Dude.
I mean,
that's so ridiculous. And like you were saying, it's obviously predetermined. And then on top of that, I mean, that's just not fair. What kind of rule is that?
No, I know.
That's goes against anything that sports stand for. Because it's not about it's not it's a whole big thing. Sports is not a popularity contest. It's just points on the board. It's records. It's numbers. It's you lost. At the end of the day, if they're defeated and Alabama's not, Alabama should be making playoffs.
And the thing is, pre-playoff era, it used to be called the BCS, and it was decided by a computer formula. So it would just have 1 versus 2. There was no semifinal or anything. And I kind of think that's the fairest way to go about it, because other than that, I mean, it's just a judgment call. And I know, yes, that's how the NCAA basketball tournament is. There is a selection committee. But it just seems like it would take the bias, out of it.
Right.
The only thing that I do think though that we are saved here, Alabama getting that last spot. So, 1-4, 2 versus 3, playing Michigan. If Florida State was in that spot, backup quarterback, I mean, you would think that they would get killed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is that, but at the same time, that's a little bit of forecasting, Tony. I mean, it probably in hindsight is not fair to the kids.
No, it's not at all fair to the kids.
Because they would be undefeated facing another undefeated team. I mean, it's crazy too. It usually, there's not that many undefeated teams, but there's 2 in the playoffs, 2 out of the playoffs, and then there's the other 2 one-loss teams. Liberty went undefeated, but smaller conference, so they didn't.
I still don't get. I don't really understand that the whole selection committee thing. So they just reserve the right to say no.
Well, I mean, they have rankings throughout the year, so they're kind of giving you updates. I think it starts like halfway through the season of what they're like.
Right.
If the season ended today, these are the 4 teams that would be in the playoffs.
I don't understand. How is it not just like the best teams?
Well, I guess because then what would you do if they have the same record and they didn't play head to head?
Point differentials.
Yeah. I mean, there would be like a lot of tiebreakers and stuff, but ESPN owns the college football playoff, or has the rights, whatever it is. So it's like obviously their interests are at bay here, and I think
one of the most views.
When you have your semifinal there, at the Rose Bowl, and the game's over at halftime, the ratings, you know what I mean. So I think
it's a shame, dude.
That was the mindset. And these semifinal and final. Might be the last games of Jim Harbaugh's coaching tenure at Michigan. By the way, I heard a lot of Harbaughs in Green Bay.
Really?
Nobody can do it. I don't know. The older generation,
Mm-hmm.
I think, what is it? They just struggle with silent vowels. Is that what it is?
So, yeah.
But yeah, a lot of Harbaugh. Alabama and Michigan, that's the first semifinal game at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Michigan only 1.5-point favorites. So they're playing Florida State. It probably would have been a 17, 18-point spread. So it'll be interesting to see if Nick Saban can get back to yet another title game there. Jalen Milroe has played a lot better. Obviously, the 4th and 31 that he converted to get Alabama there. And then you have undefeated Washington against Texas. So interesting game there. Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian, used to coach Washington before he went to USC, get divorced, get fired, go to rehab, and then here he is resurfacing. It's amazing how that works, Tony.
What do you mean by that?
No, this is literally let me give you the synopsis of this guy. Have you heard of Steve Sarkisian?
I've heard of him, but I don't know his story.
So originally, assistant under Pete Carroll at USC for a while, then got the head coaching job at Washington. Carroll leaves USC. They bring in Sarkisian to replace him. And I think it was in his second season, midway through, I guess he was like hammered at a press conference or something. They put him on leave. Then they fire him. Then he gets divorced. Then he goes to rehab. Then he is an offensive assistant for Nick Saban, just for the national championship game, because Lane Kiffin, who was the offensive coordinator, left to get the head coaching job at that time at Florida Atlantic. And then he is the coordinator for the Falcons, gets fired there. Somehow he ends up and then he goes back to Alabama, okay? And then just because, Saban, he's fine. We're not worried about his drinking. Then he gets the head coaching job at Texas, couple mediocre seasons. And then here he is, national semifinal, 12-1 going against, his former team.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is really crazy. What a story. What a wild ride.
So that's an interesting matchup. It's been a while since we've seen Texas in this spot. So I think, I think there'll be some good bowl games too, besides the playoffs. And I always look forward to, I went last year. We'll see about maybe going this year. But the game at Yankee Stadium, the Pinstripe Bowl, Rutgers at Miami. So a little bit of a local feel there, with Miami. They even have one at Fenway, SMU and Boston College. So again, the local scenario there, Tony. So kind of interesting. It's funny, I watch from more of afar, beginning of the year. But then when we get into this point of college football, it is fun. It's fun to see the guys too that are going to be, picked in the draft next year, how they play and stuff. So interesting time of year.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. By the way, Jay Bird, I don't know how you feel about what he just said, but he says the older generation is just ignorant, think that they're always right.
Obviously a forecasting, a generalization, but I mean, there's something there, Tony.
There's definitely something there.
I think we could just leave it at that.
Something there for Jay Bird, I think, dude.
That's how we always did it. That's how we're gonna do it. That's it. All right. And then your mother says, "Hi, Phyllis."
Hi, Mom.
Has she been talking to Derek Ho?
Maybe.
Are you surprised? I guess it started yesterday, but still, Tony. I mean, we're waiting for that big domino to fall.
Oh,
MLB.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Riley said yesterday on the show he expects within the next week some big moves, dude. Red Sox out on Ohtani, dude.
Red Sox out on Ohtani. Seems like he's going to go to the Dodgers.
Yeah, it does.
The chatter about Toronto, but the taxes, Canada, Trudeau. There's no way he's going to want to play.
There was more chatter about Soto to Toronto.
Well, there was, but then like the package that they could offer, what are they going to give him? Kikuchi and Manoa. San Diego wants pitching. So we were talking about this in the group chat yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, Tony, listen, it's going to be catastrophic if I'm wrong. But I've never been so sure of something. Soto is definitely going to, probably this week, honestly. I think the trade will get done this week. And I think it's going to be a mix of prospects and, players. Now, I would think, King or Schmidt will be in this package, and the rest will be, prospects, but no Volpe, Dominguez. Probably we'll have to get rid of Peraza. Drew Thorpe, I think, was minor league pitcher of the year. He'll probably have to get traded as well. Maybe they even talked about Spencer Jones, the former first-round pick, left-handed version of Aaron Judge. That's a comparison. So they're going to have to give up probably 4 players, but I am 100% confident this is getting done just because of the fact the Padres have no better option. So it's about getting the most value that you can, and they need pitching. So, and I hope that we give up Clark Schmidt. I think it's a good capitalization of value because, I mean, what are you forecasting with him down the road? I mean, I can't even see really. I think of more of like a 4 starter.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I guess it depends on what the rest of the rotation is looking like, but I don't think he's really proved much in terms of like earning a spot in the starting rotation.
But I think too, from a couple of years ago to where he is now, I think he has decent value.
Yeah.
So instead of waiting for this year, to have a 5 ERA, possibly get injured after all the innings last year, I'd rather avoid that. I hope we don't, but I kind of think we're gonna have to trade Michael King in that deal.
Yeah, you would have to.
But what
other pitching could you give up though?
Well, just prospects.
Not
but
King.
I think they like what they saw down the stretch with him. But if you were, the Yankees, you wouldn't hesitate to include him. I know there were some reports that they didn't necessarily want to include him in the deal.
I mean, I'm sure they didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, man. You're kind of at the heels of the Padres a little bit. Because, I mean, it's still worth it. At the end of the day, it's worth it to give up King to get Soto. So, I mean, I would also be sad and reluctant to see him go. But I mean, at the end of the day, if that's what is like, if that's going to be a deal breaker to not get Soto, you're going to have to make that deal.
I'm telling you, my mindset, Soto's a lock. Yamamoto is very likely, and Bellinger's possible. The Glaber trade and an amazing offseason. That's what I'm really forecasting. I mean, what are you thinking just in terms of Soto? I mean, you think more than likely they've worked that out?
Yeah, I think so. Because I really think Yamamoto's going to end up going to the Mets.
What have you heard? Gelbs? Anything from Gelbs, Tony?
Well, it seems like that. Like basically nothing more than what I said before. Where Yamamoto does like Citi Field. He likes the fact that Senga is there already too. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a big draw. And, it seems like it's either going to be the Yankees or the Mets, honestly, at this point.
So crazy.
Which is really crazy.
But in all seriousness, I mean, and I guess I could answer the same question, but if he does end up going to the Yankees, like, how tight are you going to be?
Pretty tight, dude. Because what other pitcher are you going to go out in there and get? Like Montgomery?
What about Snell? No traction on Snell? Or he doesn't want to.
Who did we say he was going to go to?
No, Mariners.
Mariners, Seattle.
But I mean,
nothing's been definitive yet, but
is he a Boris client?
I think so. I want to say we just looked that up too. I'm pretty
But
sure.
you know, it could be Blake, you know, wanting to stay. Okay, wanting to stay on the West Coast. But I don't get why the Mets wouldn't be more involved there. Mets could target Snell as Yamamoto fallback, and Heyman's reporting it, so that means that they're not going to get him.
Yeah.
But I feel like if they were to get Snell, in lieu of Yamamoto, Tony, you wouldn't be that tight.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be. I think
Compared to, you know, if you
both of them.
if you don't, you know, I mean, I guess there is the Burns possibility. I thought I saw, I don't know if it was the Mariners or something. I thought I saw teams are inquiring about Burns. I don't know if you've heard anything.
Corbin Burns, yes. Didn't we talk about it on the show?
No, I mean, not that I remember.
I thought we did at first. Corbin Burns, Padres. Interesting. 2 days ago, Padres interested in Corbin Burns. Of course,
I'll work with a third
San Francisco
team.
Giants reportedly enamored with Brewers pitcher Corbin Burns.
So, looks like he's gonna get moved.
It sounds like he'll definitely be getting moved.
But you haven't heard really linked to the Mets.
I mean, it doesn't really seem like it. Reading some of these headlines, but still, I mean, you never really know, dude. Because, I mean, the second, I don't know. I mean, you know, like once one pitcher gets off the board, it's gonna be like all different teams pivoting and making new plans, and like the second Yamamoto gets off the board, no matter where he goes, like you said, like the Mets right now aren't interested in Snell. It seems they want to pursue Yamamoto, but then Yamamoto goes to the Yankees, they pursue Snell. Like Snell wants to go to the Mariners, they probably pursue Burns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of Mariners, I think Eduardo Rodriguez is still available. I'm pretty sure.
No, but wasn't he? He was on Detroit.
Sure.
Eduardo
Oh yeah,
Rodriguez.
Tigers,
Yeah, he used to be on the Red Sox.
Yeah.
But I guess he had an okay year last year.
Yeah. I thought I remember a trade deadline. Like I was like,
well, remember he didn't. He could have went to the Dodgers and he didn't want to, which I don't understand that.
3.3 ERA, 13-9.
Oh, I mean, no, those are strong numbers. Let's see, 152 innings. He's 30 years old, left-handed. The lack of pitching on the open market. I mean, I think he's going to get a decent sized deal.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
Is that if it's, you know, with one of those bigger name guys, you know, would you be opposed or no?
What do you mean with one of those? Like
I'm saying,
him and
like
Yamamoto,
or Snell or Burns. Like you're okay with him as like a third, fourth.
Definitely need him. Like you need multiple starting pitchers.
Yeah, because the way that it looks right now. Because I forgot didn't they get somebody? The Mets.
That's a starting pitcher.
Yeah, like a low level. Because you know they have like that graphic of the projected rotation. I thought they. Damn. Because I know Sanga, Quintana.
Right.
Was it McGill in there?
Yes.
Oh, and then put Mets.
Oh. Oh my goodness. Rotation.
No, but that's from earlier this year, from before this season. They probably don't. I just saw it on Twitter. I don't know why. I thought they had picked somebody up. Who else would they have under contract besides Sanga and McGill and Quintana?
Let's see. Obviously, Carrasco's out. Pitching rotation. How the Mets can score. Here we go. 57 minutes to go. Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, I haven't heard. Have you heard anything about Monty?
No, literally nothing. Severino, dude.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I know they signed somebody. I forgot about that.
Fuck that guy, dude. Honestly, like what the fuck?
You're not even gonna give him a fair shake, Tony?
No, I mean, sure. I mean, he's on the team, so.
But is it really gonna be like first outing, he gets hammered, and you're just gonna hate him forever? Like,
probably, yeah, dude. Like I don't know. I had no confidence in Severino.
But I'm excited to see the dominoes fall, though. Honestly,
yeah, no, me too, dude. And I think Yamamoto to Mets. I'm telling you.
Oh man,
it just makes sense,
going
dude.
To be Michael. I mean, it really is unbelievable. The service over here, the pizza. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
The pizza,
the Bitcoin celebration, Michael. Right there.
So funny.
Just like Bitcoin keeps coming and coming, more and more. Let's go, right?
Yeah, dude.
Again, Tony. But yeah, it's at the same time though, it is tough that think about it. We basically is it a month and a half till you would say pitchers and catchers, give or
February, right?
take?
Something.
Isn't it like middle of the month? Because the games, like the actual like spring training games, are at the end of February,
Right?
Aren't they, like last week.
Yeah, maybe like towards the end of January.
So I guess
Yeah.
they're it's somewhat close, but
I would say.
I just can't wait for baseball every night. The breakdowns.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be sick.
But do you think like if it's they don't get? By the way, where's this pizza from?
No idea.
Really?
They're not. I wasn't a part of it.
Okay. But if there aren't major moves made, do you think that will sour it for you, or do you think just going in you're gonna
for the Mets?
Yeah.
Like no major moves, like acquisitions to the roster.
Yeah, like maybe an outfielder like that's I don't. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
Yelich. If it's Yelich and Severino, the top two acquisitions, but you're going to be beaten down and not into it, or is it you just need to see it on the field first and then?
Well, I mean, always I'm going to be excited for the season, obviously, but I mean, if it's just Yelich and Severino, that could be probably a problem for sure, dude.
Yelich, though, I thought you seem like you've been.
No. I mean, I would love Yelich, dude. I really would, but I mean, it's just like it's also, I don't know, man. Like you expect bigger names. I mean, at the very least in the pitching department, because I mean, how many, like, come on, like how many freaking times are we going to try out starters that just absolutely popped in the first 2 innings? Like, I'm just tired of seeing that, So we'll see though. Yeah, but if there's just Severino, except that's gonna be a big issue. Because our bats weren't really an issue last season. It's not like, the bats were a problem.
But at times it was, though, no?
Oh, yeah, naturally. But you get that with any team throughout the course of the season, but there weren't any like real like extended periods of games where they're scoring no runs. For the most part, I feel like it was just because they'd be losing games like 6-5, 8-7, like crazy, dude, because they give up so many runs.
I'm trying to think. Off the top of your head, we got Alvarez at catcher. And then obviously Pete at first.
Yeah.
McNeil, you think he's gonna end up staying?
Dude, I don't know, honestly. The other night, he did like a double header. Went to see the Knicks. Well, we went to 2 separate New York sporting events. It might have been Knicks Rangers, honestly. So whatever. Maybe it was Giants Rangers. Doesn't matter. Jets. He went to the Jets Rangers game. That's what he did on Sunday. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, like, is he like just trying to get as much in before, because he thinks he's gonna be moving, like getting traded, sort of deal. I would be a little surprised if he did stay, to be honest. I feel like the Mets would look to move him, because I feel like he's got solid value. Seems like he's a little bit of a clubhouse issue right now too. Yeah. So Stearns comes in, new guys, new culture. I can see him being on the market.
And so is there anybody internally that can play second?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess they picked up that freaking, oh my God, who the hell is that old Joey Wendell right now, right? As utility guy. But other than that, I mean, it's not like you have a solidified second baseman that you've been using or even has gotten reps, like, come on.
No one in the system.
No one real. I mean, at least no one that's played second base.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, if you fucking
Wait, what about
Stewart, I guess
Mauricio can't.
He can, yeah, but he has he never has in the majors.
Wait, I'm blanking too. Did he hit when he came up or no?
Yeah.
Like what? Like anything crazy or just
no?
Or he didn't. I mean, was he up for 15 games or something?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, at first it was like he was up and down sort of deal, not getting a lot of at bats. But he had some big hits, but nothing crazy. I mean, I can double check the stats, but
because I know obviously there's been a lot of hype for him for a while.
I know. Let's see. Okay, this is just
okay. 100 at bats.
Yeah.
Is he supposed to have power or no?
More contacty. Yeah. Which is fine, I guess. I mean, 248 average.
For some reason, I thought he stole 47. More.
Yeah, I guess not. Well, 7 stolen bags. I mean, that's
26. That's good. I'm just looking at minor league wise, but but he hit 26 home runs. So he does have power.
Yeah. 23, 26, I guess, in Binghamton last year or last season.
But I wonder what the plan is though, because I don't think they're going to move Lindor off of short.
They're not. I mean, it says here second baseman in the positions. Let's see some defensive metrics here, dude. Last season, predominantly shortstop. I guess they did throw him in at second base. Thank you, Michael. Brian wants to know where the pizza's from.
Unbelievable, Michael.
Wow,
Honestly.
dude.
Really.
Thank you.
Great
Wow,
day.
yeah, dude.
Appreciate you, bro.
The napkins, the fist
Honestly.
bumps. Yeah.
5-star
dude.
service from Michael.
Thanks, dude. So we'll see. Maybe we can stick him at second base. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. So let's just operate under that. Let's say McNeil gets dealt. Ramirez comes at second. I guess you'll be starting Beatty at third base.
Is there any other option?
No. For your starter?
Because who else? I'm trying to think though. There was one other prospect, but he didn't do well.
Yeah, I don't know why.
First base, third base.
Yeah. He was DH in a shit ton.
Vientos.
Yeah, Mark Vientos.
But you're down on Vientos?
I don't know, dude. I mean, honestly, he was looking really good at first base. I'll tell you that much. I think we can maybe work him in because Brett Beatty, again, last season, just kind of struggled at the plate. But again, I mean, if Vientos comes in, he's someone who also struggled at the plate because he was predominantly at DH.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Who knows? I mean, if you can throw him at third base, maybe he flashes the glove, looks a little bit good, a little better at third base, gets a better at bat, stuff like that. And then let's say, so let's put Vientos at DH, Beatty at third. I guess right field, fucking DJ Stewart at this point, dude. Like,
and there's no minor league option there.
Not that I know of.
They need an outfielder.
They do desperately.
Nemo's in center, but then who's in left?
Yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah,
outfield is like a huge problem. It was.
But Mauricio can play out there.
Mauricio can. Beatty has before as well. McNeil has. People played the outfield a lot last season too.
Yeah. So maybe you don't trade McNeil, but you want him out because of the chemistry.
I mean, again, if it's a problem, then it's a problem, dude.
Yeah. You think he has an anger problem?
He definitely does.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's someone who, when he doesn't do well, I mean, if he's fucking screaming and cursing and shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's tough, dude.
Yeah. What about bullpen? You think they need to add a setup guy or two, or?
Yeah, dude. I mean, you can't just be throwing in Coonrod or whatever, dude. Like,
maybe bring back Robertson.
I don't know, dude. He didn't. I guess he kind of picked it up, at the end. There,
but was good while he was with the Mets, or you just would be concerned he's older.
Concerned about the age for sure, dude. I don't know. I mean, again, like the fade was after the move, so maybe he just didn't like Miami, didn't want to be traded. I'm sure he didn't want to. It seemed like he enjoyed the Mets.
He was pissed. Yeah.
So like, I maybe bring him back would be cool. Seth Lugo's on the market again. Obviously we're getting Diaz back, which would be pretty sweet.
You think? So, are you interested in the Lugo reunion?
I think I would be. Yeah. Lugo was another player who did not really necessarily want to leave the Mets. He was actually looking for a starting rotation role, I should say. I mean, I would be into bringing him back in the bullpen. And then again, like if he can be like a fill-in starter, that's great too.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of value there.
Yeah, definitely.
Hate to break it to you, but Josh B says #Yamasoto.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have been saying that for a while, dude. I keep saying it. You're gonna jinx it, dude.
There's no such thing as a jinx.
All right, we'll see. We'll see, dude.
No, but I'm trying to think. Will you still be tight? Yankees get Yamamoto and Soto. Mets get Snell and Yelich. Are you gonna be pissed though, or no?
If the Mets get Snell and Yelich,
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be angry because I mean, Snell and Yelich are two players I've been like kind of pushing for the Mets to get. I mean, it's tough that they're gonna miss out. Again, like Soto is. Be cool if they get, again, like you need an outfielder. Soto would be huge for the Mets, but I mean, there's no chatter about that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'd be more upset if you lose Yamamoto because pitching is really like super important right now.
Yeah, no, that is true for sure. Oh yeah, I think they had Lucchesi.
Yeah,
projected in
that
rotation.
yeah, probably, which is not a good idea.
Rayleigh's still under contract.
David Peterson's gonna be bad. Brooks Raley, is he? I guess. I thought they parted ways.
Sometimes they don't update the offseason
Yeah.
roster.
Nope, still with the Mets. He's not going to be for long, though. Give me
You
a break,
think?
dude? And then look at the bullpen that we were kind of putting out there at the end of the season. There, Phil Bickford, no, thank you. Grant Hartwig, he's young, but he hasn't really done much last season. Sean Reed Foley is trash. Drew Smith, I don't know, man. I mean, he's like a hit or miss. Jose Buteau has been terrible.
Yeah.
So, Luis Angel. I think he still is going to need some more time.
Oh, but he botched it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he did kind of botch it. Zach Short.
Not familiar.
I know there was I think it's Zach Short who played for Detroit. He went to Sacred Heart. Yeah, I think this is him, dude.
Yeah, Sacred Heart Education.
That's crazy. He's in the Mets organization now. I didn't hear that.
Wow.
Yo, let's fucking go, dude.
Mixed feelings. A little shot at the team, huh?
Oh no, dude. Come on, what the fuck is this? Member only article. Come on.
I wanted to see the banter. Why it was tight.
Yeah, of course they want you to fucking sign up. That's tough, dude. That was 4 days ago too. Maybe I'll do some more research on that. Find out what
Yeah, why what the hesitation is.
Yeah, for Zach Short. But that's kind of sick, dude.
Yeah.
Because he played shortstop. Yeah, shortstop.
Oh, and then Gilbert was good in the minors last year, right? The other prospect they got.
Oh,
I guess he's
Gilbert?
not in the 60th man yet.
No, he's not.
But
he needs some more time, probably too.
Like he's not going to make his debut next year.
No. I don't know much about Alex Ramirez.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I guess you could go to Ramirez if you want.
Why?
I was gonna say I just was curious what Stewart's final line was. You say he's 20?
Yeah, he's born in 03.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he's gonna have some time, I'm sure. 6'3", 170. He's a lanky boy.
Decent amount of steals, 20 steals.
Oh yeah, it's great, dude.
Go to Stewart though. I'm kind of curious where he finished up. But what was it? Like when before that hot streak, was he like doing awful? And then
with the Mets?
Yeah, it's like that. Was it like awful, really good, and then tapered down the stretch?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I don't know if it was definitely awful, like at the plate. I remember him coming in and not really hitting very well, and then all of a sudden it was like 4 home runs in 6
Gary
games.
Thorne, DJ Stewart,
crazy dude. And he was making some great catches in the outfield out of nowhere too, playing right field.
It's out of here.
I mean, what is he? 32, 30 years old. So, I mean, again, he's not. I mean, he's by no. I mean, he's a big dude. Like he's not covering a lot of ground in the outfield. Again, he made some great plays. He had some not so great plays, but I think it was more just about the lore. His personality. Like he's not like a great player.
I think they need 2 outfielders. You try to start him for a full year, he's gonna hit 220 and have like 15 home runs.
And again, like starting Marte. I mean,
I forgot he was even on the team.
He's not going to be on the team by the start of the season. There's no way.
Go to his page.
I mean, he was injured forever. He had like that groin or hamstring.
Oh, okay. So he only got 300 bats, but 5 home runs.
Yeah. No.
How much does he have left on the deal?
2 years,
including this coming year.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, 2 more years.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But so just because of the fact that he has the high salary, trading him, you'd have to eat money. I mean, you don't even want to see it out with him just to see if.
I mean, I guess to have him around. Yeah.
Would you take Stanton for him?
Like straight up?
Yeah.
Stanton for Marte?
I think you would actually consider it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, but think about how bad Stanton was last year. I know, like, is it?
Marte didn't even fucking play, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
but then you got. I think it's. Is it 5? It's either 4 or 5 years.
Yes, I would bring him in and make him play the outfield every game, dude. Immediately, like just figure it out.
If he was in, lineup around him's healthy, he's healthy. I mean, what do you think he would do numbers wise?
Like you're probably talking like 37, 38 home runs,
So
like towering, batting maybe, I don't know, 295.
So like what the hell like happened last year, and even going back into the second half of the previous
I
year?
really do think it's just, I don't know, maybe he needs to change of scenery, stay over there in the Bronx, and I think that they really just baby him. If I was like the manager of the Yankees, I'd be playing him in the field every day. I'd break his body if I had to. Figure it out, dude. Like you can't just be this guy who swings and that's it. Like he has no momentum to his game. He's so stagnant.
Yeah. I guess he's been working with the hitting coach, but yeah, maybe.
Sure, dude.
But it's actually I'm surprised. I thought you were gonna say he's finished, but
no, I would. Marte is finished. Let me tell you that. Okay,
but is it because he can't stay healthy? That's why you're saying he's finished?
Probably the steroids, dude. Yeah, he's old, dude. It's over for him.
But it's funny, just because of how bad Stanton's been clean.
Let's do it.
It probably would be a good deal, and I know value what it's like. But the Mets would never, I don't think, take on
the contract.
If they did, I mean, the Yankees would do that in a second.
How much is it though? It's not even that much. It's like 12.
No, I think it's 20 or 25. But the Marlins are paying
a
portion of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, aren't they paying like half of it?
No. It's only like $5 million or something. It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta pay like 16, 17 mil.
I think it's like $98 million over the next 4 seasons.
He is fucking robbing people.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm leaving out hope. I'm gonna give him a little wiggle room, and then we'll have to see what happens. But needless to say, Tony, pump for baseball next year.
Needless to say is correct.
Because spring training, like renewed sense of optimism.
Right.
I feel like we really need that, especially with what the Jets have done to us this year.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But that being said, that was the longest like potpourri we've ever had.
Just going off, dude.
We got to talk about last night, though. Let's go to the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh, my goodness. Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off, and a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So a shocker last night in Duval as the Bengals 34-31 in overtime, victorious, courtesy of a Evan McPherson 48-yard field goal. Jake Browning getting a big win here, keeping the Bengals playoff hopes alive at 6-6. And Browning, what a game. Obviously hasn't played much, has been in the league 4 years or so. And he was 32 of 37 for 354, a touchdown, didn't turn it over, and was sacked only twice. And it was funny too, a lot of short passing. Beginning of the game, I don't know if you saw this, Tony. I've never seen this ever. All my years watching football. He started out 5 of 5 for 9 yards. I've never seen that.
Yeah, me neither.
Because there was a negative play mixed in there as well. But he was making all the throws, standing in the pocket competently. And I know, again, you can't compare the talent that the Bengals have versus like the Jets. But it's hard not to think about this. Browning, he's barely played, but, he's got a decent offensive line. He's got 3 really good receivers. He has a running game, and he has a coach that doesn't have his head up his derriere like Robert Saleh.
Correct.
And Zach Taylor. They've been to the Super Bowl, but the fact that he's able to win this game, and I know obviously he benefited from the Lawrence injury late. But I think something needs to be said about that. So definitely, props to him, as well as, head coach Zach Taylor. Jamar Chase, a big game last night, 11 receptions, 149 yards and a score. The Bengals, though, almost blew it on a couple. It was funny. I always say this, but they literally said it on the broadcast. They were getting too cute. Tyler Boyd threw an interception, and then Jamar Chase, a negative 7-yard pass he had on some trickery. But they did a good job running the ball, 156 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns for Mixon, who had 68 yards and 19 carries, and Jake Browning also had a rushing touchdown. So it was, you kind of picked this game up, in the fourth quarter here, going into the fourth, you had Jacksonville with the lead, 28-21. But the Bengals outscored them 10-3 in the fourth. And the biggest thing, the Trevor Lawrence injury leaves the game in the fourth quarter there. And in the replay, you look at it, and it's his own lineman running into him. His ankle turns in all crazy ways, and then he gets trampled on top of that. There's a TV timeout, but you see him yell, throw his helmet.
Yeah.
Needed to be helped by I saw him. I don't know if you saw this. They had a police officer helping him off the field with the coach, which I've never seen that before.
Rick and Dave said it on the show. It was like, what? Like, where's the cart? He couldn't get up on his own accord. Like, where's the cart?
Yeah, I don't know. That was odd.
Very odd.
And preliminary reports are positive. They're saying it's a ankle sprain, but to me it seemed broken.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think that's kind of crazy if it's not. And even, I mean, again, like, sometimes rolling your ankle and spraining it, like the pop out, pop back in, it could look bad. But I mean, you can walk that off.
Yeah.
Like he was not. And he was visibly angry and in pain. So like like everything on his face with his reaction pointed to like, this is broken. Like this is not going to be good.
Yeah. And it's just, this has been the year. I mean, we think about all the quarterback injuries.
Oh my, it's like been 8 or 9.
Burrow and Watson and Rodgers, to add Lawrence, to the list.
Richardson.
That's tough. CJ Beathard came in, and with the Jags trailing by 3, he did do, was at the helm for a 9-play, 53-yard drive, resulted in McManus hitting from 40. Overtime, though, the Jags did win the toss, but had to punt. The Bengals, long drive there, 12 plays, 42 yards, capped off by McPherson for the win for 48 yards. So Jacksonville, missing an opportunity here with a win would have been the number 1 seed in the AFC. They fall to 8-4, and the Bengals go to 6-6. So if you look at the playoff picture now in the AFC, Jacksonville with that loss is now in 4th. So you got Miami at 1, Baltimore at 2, Chiefs 3, Jags 4, Steelers 5. So those middle 3 teams, they're all with losses. But 3, 4, and 5 in the AFC. Browns, another team that lost with Flacco at 6. And then the Colts, who won that exciting game over Tennessee, currently in that 7 spot at 7-5. The tiebreaker over Houston, who's 7-5. And then you got Broncos, Bengals, Bills, all 6-6. So, really should be an exciting finish down the stretch. But it just, it really changes things if Lawrence is out. Maybe he'll be okay, but obviously, I mean, Jacksonville, you would think, will have a tough time just winning, one playoff game. And potentially, if Lawrence was out, there's a chance that the Colts could end up winning the division. Because we've seen it before. I mean, CJ Beathard, I think he looked okay when he came in, but
he's older too, right?
Yeah, he was on San Francisco. Backed up Jimmy G for a while, but they'll be in a world of trouble. So, you gotta hope that it's not as bad as we think. And if I were them, you got to be cautious. If he needs to sit a game or 2, but you need him back, and just got to hope the skill talent you have on that team can pick up the load while he's out. With ETN, with Ridley, Evan Engram had a big game last night as well. So, looking at the remaining schedule there, at Cleveland, home to Baltimore, at Tampa Bay, home to Carolina, and at Tennessee. So really, the only daunting opponent would be Baltimore on the 17th,
Right.
but all manageable games. You win 2 or 3 of those games, win 10, 11 games. I think, you'll be okay for the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
But we'll have to see what happens. And then just looking at the playoff picture on the other side, Eagles still in first there at 10-2. Obviously, San Francisco with a tiebreaker after their win over them, decisive win on Sunday afternoon at 9-3. And they have the tiebreaker over the Lions. Falcons in there at 6-6 after the win over the Jets in fourth. Dallas, it doesn't seem fair, would actually have to go to Atlanta on Wild Card Weekend because they are not leading their division. Minnesota hanging on at 6, and Green Bay into that 7th playoff spot. But they have the Rams and the Seahawks breathing down their neck. You got 2 teams in the NFC South, a game behind Atlanta, as well as in the mix for the wild card. So this NFC race is going to really definitely be right down to the final week.
Kind of crazy.
And it's going to be interesting to see. What were you going to say?
Who gets that 7th spot, you think?
So I think Green Bay moves up to 6. I think Minnesota misses. And I think the Rams.
Oh.
Hopefully. Did we get an update on Nakua?
No.
He definitely left the game with the injury, right?
Yes.
Obviously they have Cup, but I heard you talking about yesterday that you weren't, big on Stafford, but I think the last 2 games he has 7 touchdown passes.
Yeah, I know.
So AC sprain, still expected to play.
There we go.
So that would be big for the Rams. What are they? Let's go to their schedule.
Yes.
Okay, so Baltimore
on Sunday,
Washington, New Orleans, and the Giants. So they need to win those 3. That would get them to 9, and then maybe you hope that San Francisco rests their starters if the 1 seed is locked up in week 18. And then you would have a shot. But I mean, I think Washington, New Orleans, New York, I do expect them to win those
relatively
games.
favorable.
I just think Minnesota, I know Justin Jefferson's coming back, but whether it's Hall or you stick with Dobbs, I just think they're going to struggle. Just looking here, you got Vegas, Cincy, Detroit, Green Bay, Detroit. I mean, I could see them literally going 1-4, maybe just beating the Raiders.
Think so?
I mean, but Browning's
on the Bengals, you like?
Right? I mean, that was a good performance last night.
That was a very great performance, dude.
And then Green Bay on Sunday Night Football, that's tough. 2 dates with the Lions. I know they could split that potentially, but I don't know. I don't know what you think they stick with Dobbs?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
They said the priority is getting Jefferson the ball when he comes back.
And there you go.
But I think you would think cooler heads will prevail. I think they were just in the moment upset about the 4 turnovers. Seattle, I mean, they've lost 4 out of 5. And then they have to go Niners, Eagles, Titans, Steelers, Cardinals. They're not making it.
That's tough, dude.
So that's kind of why I was thinking those 2 teams, for the last spot.
I like it
in the NFC. Do you think that they should do anything about, a team winning a division, whether it's 500, under 500, not being rewarded with that home playoff game? Or do you think you need to continue to have the importance of winning a division?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, if you do that, you almost totally eliminate winning your division, right?
Well, it would be winning a division automatically qualifies you for the playoffs, but once the playoff field is set, it goes by record, not division. What do you think about that?
I like that.
Because I think Dallas will handle them anyway. But that game should be in Dallas.
Yeah, it should be in Dallas.
So it definitely going to be an interesting stretch run. And unfortunately, week 14 does not start with a doozy. As we have the Patriots traveling to Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, obviously, with the Pickett injury,
Could be a good game.
whether it's Trubisky, whether it's Rudolph, I think they're in for a world of trouble. But there's no way the Pats
You think
are
the
winning another
Steelers?
game this year.
Oh, okay, they're not gonna.
No,
Okay.
right?
So you think Steelers win.
Yeah, and it's funny because historically, Belichick's always had Tomlin's number. I don't even know when the last time he won, or if he's won. He probably has, but it's been a while. I think Bill's doing it on purpose, and I think the team is just so bad.
Since Bill took over the Patriots, and he's been even better with
5-2 against Tomlin's teams.
the Patriots are 5-2. Oh, okay.
But that was in 17. He's probably played him since then.
Oh yeah. This one is from 17 hours ago from Steelers Depot, dude. Tomlin dropped 18. No. What am I even looking at?
Yeah, they should just have it right there. I don't know why what the struggle is.
And I feel like that should be like especially now. I mean, it's a pretty, I would imagine, popular stat to be looking up.
Yeah.
He's about to go over the Patriots 2000s to be ever with an 85% winning percentage going 120. No, that's just in general. Talking about Harbaugh now.
Harbaugh.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a lost cause here.
Yeah, it's all right. But needless to say, it's been a while.
Yeah. No, I think definitely been a while. I mean, you said 5-2 in 2017. I mean, geez, dude, since then it's got to be worse.
Yeah. And then what I wanted to see,
what do you want to see, dude?
Is looking at next week, schedule wise here. Oh, doubleheader on Monday night next week
for hockey. What do you doubleheader of
NFL? Titans at Dolphins and Packers at Giants. Though not the best games. If it was Dolphins at Packers, that would be interesting.
See the Manning cast last night at all?
No, they're Chiefs.
Tua playing guitar?
Huh?
Tua playing guitar?
It's just one of the, like, you know what I mean? It's like they need. I just feel like Eli and Peyton, they think they're David Letterman, Tony. And it's just like, okay, like, why do we need that?
Do you like David Letterman?
No, but it's just a point. Like, don't you think so, though? It's like, what is the need for the Manning cast?
The need. I don't know. I guess they're really necessarily a need. I don't know. I think they're funny sometimes. I think they are funny. Eli and Peyton together are funny.
Okay.
Because they're two fucking doofy idiots that seem to be also like pretty sheltered from like pop culture and stuff. Like, they don't know
because they always ingrain themselves in
football. Yeah. It's actually really funny.
I was just looking ahead. So while we're at the Horseshoe, our late afternoon window, Vikings, Raiders, Seahawks, Niners, Bills, Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers. So not terrible. I think the Bills Chiefs is actually going to be close because the Chiefs are a fucking mess.
Yeah, the Chiefs are a fucking mess, dude. And honestly, Broncos Chargers probably gonna be a good game too.
Broncos Chargers, and then the Eagles Cowboys would be
also
good.
Be a good game,
dude. Eagles get a vengeance again. What do you think? Especially after the embarrassing loss.
I don't know, dude. Dak is looking pretty good.
So you would put your money on Dak.
Dallas.
This is the type of game, though, that they lose, though, dude.
I know they haven't beaten great teams.
Yeah.
But no, I would give me the Cowboys. I would take the Cowboys, yeah.
How about them Cowboys?
Damn right, baby. How about Russ really fucking blowing it last week, huh? This past Sunday,
right
dude?
Down the field there. All the interceptions were dumb.
Honestly,
they were
so
terrible
dumb,
throws.
Dude.
He's done such a good job this year, but talk about a choke, Tony.
Yeah, when we fucking pick him.
Yeah.
So the graphic that Josh posted.
Yeah. But the laptop, I'll update all of our numbers and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I thought we made smart picks.
I thought we did too, dude.
And the Browns were right in the game. They were leading early, and they just blew it in the fourth quarter. And it's like, I feel like I'm just off with the Rams. When they start out slow, I was a believer in them. Then when they get hot, I'm off them. And then when I finally return,
they get cold.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
They're predators, dude.
Yeah. We're gonna. It's a good segue, but the Rangers, a couple close calls over the weekend in
San Jose.
Yeah. But let's go now to the world of the National Hockey League.
Speed, here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Holding. Ring Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score! Filthy! David Pasternak.
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So the Rangers back in action tonight, and coming off 2 games where they were playing inferior opponents, and games where they either trailed or, was a tight margin. I know San Jose with those goals in the third to make it closer than it actually was. But at the end of the day, last 3 games, they've won each game by 1. Do you look at that in any negative light, Tony, or you just feel like great teams find ways to win? Sometimes the margin might not be what you would imagine, but at the end of the day, there's no style points for these wins.
I mean, I agree with the style points thing. I think, listen, hockey is such like a interesting sport where any game, like really anyone could win.
Right.
Anyone can get hot at any point. Sometimes teams do come out and they just get some lucky bounces, or they're just a little bit more ready than the other team, which I think is what you saw a little bit with Nashville. I think, memory serves me, I think the Rangers were down 3-0 early in Nashville. Even San Jose too. I think they went down 1-0 early, maybe, and had to come back. I mean, that's something that the Rangers should definitely look at it in terms of why they're giving up a couple goals early on.
Like lapses they go through. Yeah,
definitely. But I mean, hey, like you said, great teams figure out ways to win. Because I mean, regardless if you come out with all with fire on all cylinders, I mean, sometimes, like I said, puck bounces certain ways, you give up a goal or two, whatever. You got to deal with that. You got to figure it out. And like I said, be like that Nashville comeback win to be down and whatever it was either 2 or 3 goals early on. I mean, 2 in Nashville. That was a crazy comeback. And then of course San Jose, I mean, the scoring was great. I think Panarin had the hat trick right against San Jose. Jimmy VC, I guess that was maybe against Detroit. He had that little tip-in goal. But I mean, Mika Zibanejad, actually, I think he's had 6 goals so far since the game against Detroit. I think he has 6 goals in the last 3 games.
A little bit of a heater.
Right? Yeah, he's heating up for sure. He's been playing great defense as well. He's a phenomenal 2-way player. And this is all, mind you, like Fox just came back. You still don't have Hedl.
Is Kako going to be back or no?
Yeah, with the knee injury, right, or whatever it was. Yeah, I haven't heard. Actually,
did they not even say what
lower body injury? Dude, I know, but it was.
I mean, it's got to be a fractured knee.
Will miss significant time. Lower body injury. So it's tough, dude. I think we talked about that. Yeah, he was placed in the IL.
Yeah,
long term IR.
But it isn't believed to be season ending, so at least you could get him back at some point.
Yeah, which is great, dude. But I mean, I think it's over for him and the Rangers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a terrible photo. He was in some pain there.
But they could, like, I don't know how this works, but they could do the thing where they have his rights that they put up the 3.5 and then trade him.
Yes.
Like there's no, if you re-sign someone, there's no, like, how I think NBA does this. I don't know the other sports, but where if you sign a guy, there's like in the NBA, you have to wait like 30 games before you could trade him or something. But it's not, especially being that he's on the team.
Oh,
I don't think, since they initially have his rights, I would think they would be able to trade him.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So because I think that would make sense. And I know, obviously, he was number 1 overall, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's pennies on the dollar, but maybe before he's like out of the league, you could, I don't know.
It's just tough. I mean, his battle the past 2 years has been so uphill, you know? And it's like this year there were some glimpses, I talked about it last season too. It just seemed like he was getting more of a grasp on what he should be looking at on the ice. But this injury is if you're missing significant time, like that's exactly the opposite of what he needed, dude. It's really sad. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like the future is elsewhere.
Yeah.
Now on the road in Washington tonight against the Senators, any nervousness there for you, Tony, or is it roll tide?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little. I wouldn't say roll tide. The Senators definitely have had some surprising victories. I know that's a team that's kind of been in shambles a little bit because they've been like losing a lot. I don't know if they can their coach. I don't think they did yet, but 9-10-0 right now. They had players that are definitely underwhelming. They had a lot of issues too. Like, I wouldn't say issues, but I mean, you saw them in post-game interviews and they're just like bogged down, like not sure what's wrong. Kachuk is tight, Stutzel's tight. I mean, just take a look here at their stat leaders. I don't think it's like anything crazy. Even Kachuk, 23 points for Stutzel. He's leading your team. Claude Giroux, 17 points. I mean, Brady Kachuk with only 17 points too. I mean, that's not anywhere.
Tarasenko, where are you? 3 goals.
3 goals, 11 assists. That's cool. You're +6 on the ice. They've had a little bit, like I said, a little uptick. I want to say November. November, they had a little uptick for sure. But now that I'm looking at the roster more, I mean, Travis Harmonic. Again, pound for pound, I mean, yeah, the Rangers should steamroll them. I would be a little bit. I'm always hesitant for the steamrollers, but I would take the Rangers, bet the mortgage.
So that's what you're taking for the picks.
I would say, yeah. And honestly, I'm pretty sure Rangers, I've double checked, but I think they're only like -115.
140.
140. I understand we're on the road and stuff.
Seems a little sketchy.
It does seem kind of sketchy, dude.
Yeah.
I think they're asking you to take the Rangers.
Yeah, they are. They are. Senators probably win, honestly. Hopefully they don't, but just judging from patterns, Tony, you know where my loyalty lies.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't know why you're getting so defensive.
Tony, come on. I'm not gonna do this as my first pick, but just looking at this quickly, like Sharks, the Islanders are -290 at home against the Sharks. We saw the Sharks battle with the Rangers.
Dude.
The Islanders aren't the Rangers. That could be my third pick. We'll think about that one. Unless you
put it on the back
snag
burner.
it. But I'm gonna take the Avalanche. I know that's kind of who I always take, but Ducks suck. Avalanche are a lot better. 8-2 at home for the Avalanche, 5-5 for the Ducks. Colorado heavy 325 here. But I think this is an easy win, like a 5-2. Makar with 4 points. Let's go, dude.
Kale McCarr.
Kale McCarr.
All right, my next pick. I know, look at this Kings game, but the Blue Jackets, dude, we're giving the Bruins a run for their money.
Well, they beat him, didn't they?
They beat them once, and they lost them, I think, on Sunday in a tight one, though. I think Marcia and I ended up scoring a hat trick in the third period or something like that, if memory serves me correct. And the Red Wings, I believe, with their backup tender against Eric Comrie of the Sabres. It's a tight one right there.
Devils at Canucks. Devils have been turning it around a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't want to touch that, dude. Too tight for me. Tight games here. Tight games. The Blackhawks have been kind of hot a little bit, honestly. Bedard looking good. I would. The Red Wings. Yeah, give me the Red Wings here. I don't care about their backup. What did I say? Comrie in net for the Sabres. I don't know why they don't have Lukin in there. Give me the Red Wings winning 4-2. 4-2.
4-2. 4-2. 4-2.
4-2.
4. It sounded like the sound effect.
4-2.
4-2. 4-2. 4-2. All right. I am going to go. No, but I'm gonna go with the Blackhawks.
Whoa, you're picking against the Predators.
Got to do it. Yep. The Predators hammer them. Anybody watching at home. But yeah, Bedard hat trick. I just these are the type of games that the Blackhawks win. They win. They have the ability to beat any team. And I don't think it's too tall of a task, Tony, at home to beat the Predators. So give me the Blackhawks. Bedard hat trick. 5-3.
I'm gonna get the Wild here. Now, just let me go back to the well. Give me the Kings here on the road in Columbus. I really don't care if the Blue Jackets honestly have been playing well against the Bruins. The Kings are a better team than the Bruins, if you ask me. 9-0 on the road, by the way, for the Kings.
Well,
they haven't lost a game on the road. It's kind of crazy. And now they're in Ohio on the road, -215. Give me the Kings 6-1.
wow.
That's right.
that's decisive. You're just talking about the Blue Jackets giving the Bruins fits. And,
I
and
know.
all of
Justin
that stuff.
Danforth.
Justin Danforth. We're getting crazy. I'm probably gonna go 0-3 tonight, but I'm gonna take
Do
the
it.
Sharks at the
Oh.
Islanders. I don't know. The Sharks, it just interests me. The money line, the odds, and all of that stuff. So,
If you were betting on this game, how much would you put down?
well, I want to see what. I guess I would just do. Hold on. Let's see. So
see
plus 240. Yeah. I mean, I guess it would be interesting. Just go 100 and then pays out 240 if they win. Right? You would just be nervous. Like I feel like you're giving me the look like the Islanders are going to blow them out.
No, I don't think so. No, I would like. What's is over under at 5.5? I probably bet the over too. Honestly,
I hate totals though. Honestly,
really.
Yeah, I'd rather just focus on the outcome.
Spread.
Tomas Hertl, Tony,
18 points.
2 goals tonight. I'm gonna say Sharks. Let's say they're down 3-1 in the third, and then the typical Islander collapse 4-3 over the Islanders on the road. Only their second road win of the year. And sorry, Lonnie, because I know he would be very disappointed at that result. And he also says, good question to your mother about the downtime Christmas decorations.
Yeah, we gotta work on that.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We get the tree. Well, we know we get the tree on Sunday. Yesterday, 2 days ago, raining all day. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Can't go to the tree when it's raining.
Not gonna do that.
Can't do that.
Not gonna do that. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with these games tonight. Would you give the Sharks a shot or no?
No, I would.
Yeah.
I would bet Sharks and the over.
Yeah. Parlay, same game. Right?
If you had $1,000 to bet on just hockey tonight, would you put all $1,000 in the Sharks to win?
Because it would pay out 2,400.
2,400. Yeah.
Yeah, be nice. Wow, Yanni is tight.
Screw off.
But what are you gonna do, right?
Screw off.
Yeah, some teams win, some teams lose. Never know. Anything of interest, Tony, coming up on Binge Buddies?
Oh my God, yeah, dude. Sorry, excuse me. We, as in Mike and I, went to go see the newest Godzilla movie, Godzilla -1, and you probably would hate it.
Yes, I would,
because you're not into Godzilla, you're not into movies. On top of it, it was in Japanese the entire movie.
Oh yeah, that sounds like love.
So
you loved it though, like just.
I do like foreign films, dude.
Yeah, subtitles.
I think subtitles are fine. I can deal with it.
Yeah.
Foreign films to me are always so like simple. There's always like a great color palette. There's always some type of vast, big shots of like some scenery, whatever. And of course, Godzilla inherently, historically started in Japan. So it's cool to see that get back to its roots sort of deal. And honestly, like sometimes a lot of these foreign actors who are obviously no-name people over here, they're surprisingly good actors. So that was cool. There was definitely a lot of violence. People were getting fucking eaten, Brian, by Godzilla.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty
Never
cool.
know.
So that was a great movie. We're going to review that. And then we got a few other things to talk about with Manny. He'll be in studio along with Michael, of course, to review the movies. That's going to be huge episode of Binge Buddies, dude.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. Noon teen, baby.
And another applause for Michael, the cooking. I mean, he's really like recently. I mean, it's like every time. Like I don't even need to bring my own food anymore.
I know.
It's just
now you're getting used to it.
Now I'm
too.
just set for dinner.
Now you're almost expecting it.
No, not expecting it. But I mean, really though, I appreciate Michael stepping up like that.
No, it is very nice.
And it's funny. Right before he comes in, I always like get the waft of like the bread in the toaster. I don't know if that comes your way as well.
For sure, dude.
Yeah,
like, especially with like the pizza he had going on today, very garlicky smell all out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Michael's cooking up something.
By the way, you're going down at bowling. I think I might win outright.
Like not even with the handicap.
No handicap. Screw the handicap. $100 sets up. Yeah, dude.
Sure, dude. 100-1 shot, dude.
Wait, so you would go? No, you would. I was gonna say you would go heads up for 100, but I would get 10-1 odds, or you wouldn't do it. You would. I just feel like there's no part of you that would be nervous about losing against me. Even you having your worst game, I think you would still feel good that you would be able to.
I think I would, dude.
Yeah.
10-1 is fine.
Big check to write, though.
$100, dude. Yeah.
No, 1,000 because I would get 10-1.
Oh, okay.
Like you get paid out 100, like because it's like the odds. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
why don't you put out 1,000, and then if you win, you get 10,000.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Done. But wow, definitely good to be back. And really appreciate everybody tuning in today. Appreciate Lonnie, great show, guys. And homemade roast beef. That sounds
You like
pretty
that?
good
The
too.
White Caps, dude. So good.
But yeah, thank you for everybody who tuned in.
Hell yeah,
Continuing
dude.
to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives in the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, merch, downtimetv.com. Shout out to the company. While everybody enjoy the day, enjoy Binge Buddies, enjoy the games.
Hell yeah.
Let's
go Rangers!
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.